Damaged people are dangerous because they know they can survive. Josephine Hart. In life, many of us encounter moments when someone, perhaps even someone close to us, intentionally tries to harm us. It's not an accident. It's not a misunderstanding. They made a conscious choice to damage us, whether out of jealousy, fear, bitterness. These experiences can be devastating, shaking us to the core and making us question our worth, our purpose, and even our ability to trust others. One of the most powerful examples of intentional harm in the Bible is the story of Joseph. Joseph, a young man with big dreams, was favored by his father, and his favor stirred resentment among his brothers. His dreams, which foretold a future where he would rise above them, only added fuel to their jealousy. They couldn't see the greatness of Joseph without feeling threatened in it. His brothers' resentment led them to plot against him, ultimately selling him into slavery. Imagine the betrayal Joseph must have felt. These were his own flesh and blood, the people he trusted, turning against him out of jealousy and hatred. They didn't just hurt him, they intentionally plotted to destroy him, his future, and his dreams. Joseph's journey was far from easy after that betrayal. He went from being a favored son to a slave, stripped of his identity, his family, and his sense of belonging. Yet what's remarkable is that Joseph never let bitterness consume him. Despite being thrown into circumstances beyond his control, he remained steadfast, resilient, and faithful. There are times in life when others' actions seem to throw us off course, to completely derail our dreams and goals. But Joseph's story teaches us that even the most painful betrayals can be used to shape us, to mold us, and to prepare us for something greater. The very circumstances meant to break us can become stepping stones to our destiny. While Joseph was in Egypt, he faced one challenge after another. From serving in Potiphar's house to being wrongfully imprisoned, he encountered hardship after hardship. But each time he rose to the occasion, excelling in every situation. His unwavering faith and integrity shone through, even in the darkest moments. In prison, Joseph interpreted the dreams of two fellow inmates, an ability that eventually brought him before Pharaoh himself. Pharaoh had a troubling dream, and none of his advisors could interpret it. But Joseph, guided by God, provided the interpretation and offered wise counsel, which eventually led him to being placed second in command over all of Egypt. This was a pivotal moment in Joseph's life. The very skills, endurance, and wisdom he developed in his suffering prepared him for immense responsibility. What his brothers had meant for harm, God had turned into a path toward greatness. Joseph's suffering wasn't wasted. It was preparation he needed for his destiny. There's a verse in Genesis 50:20 where Joseph confronts his brothers after his father's death. He says, "You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good to accomplish what is now being done, the saving of many lives." Joseph didn't hold on to bitterness. He didn't seek revenge. Instead, he saw the bigger picture, that his trials were part of a divine plan. Like Joseph, we too may face intentional harm from others, acts that were meant to break us. We might not see the purpose in our suffering right away, but just because we don't understand it in the moment doesn't mean there isn't one. Our darkest moments often hold the seeds of our greatest transformations. When people intentionally hurt us, it's easy to feel powerless. But the truth is, no one has the power to permanently destroy what is destined for us. Yes, they can cause us pain. They may set us back for a season. But if we stay focused and hold on to our faith, no harm can divert us from the path that's meant for us. Every betrayal, every setback, every intentional act of harm can be transformed into a tool for growth. It's in these moments that we find strength we never knew we had, that we refine our character, and that we grow closer to our purpose. Just as Joseph found his way to power in Egypt, we too can rise from our trials, stronger and wiser. Joseph's story teaches us that we don't have to be defined by what others do to us. We can choose to rise above, to find purpose in our pain, and to let our challenges shape us rather than break us. Each wound we receive can be healed and transformed into wisdom, compassion, and resilience. Remember, those who attempt to harm you may think they have control over your future. They may believe that by holding you back, they're keeping you from fulfilling your destiny. But they can't see the full picture. They don't understand that every obstacle they place in your path can be turned into a stepping stone. So how do you do it? The key to overcoming intentional harm lies in refusing to let it define you. Don't let the bitterness of betrayal take root in your heart. Refuse to become a victim of someone else's actions. Instead, use your experiences to fuel your growth, your determination, and your drive to succeed. There is purpose in your pain. Just as Joseph's journey took him from the pit to the palace, your struggles can lead you to places you never imagined. What others meant to use against you, God can use to lift you up, to position you for greater things, and to prepare you for a purpose beyond your understanding. If you're going through a season of pain, betrayal, or setback, know that it's not the end of your story. It's simply a chapter in a much bigger narrative. Keep moving forward, keep believing, and keep trusting that there's a purpose to your journey. You have the strength within you to rise above. Forgiveness is a powerful tool in overcoming intentional harm. It doesn't mean you excuse the actions of those who hurt you, but it frees you from carrying the weight of resentment. Forgiveness allows you to focus on your future rather than being chained to the past. When you refuse to let harm define you, you open yourself to growth, resilience, and strength. You begin to understand that what others meant for evil, you can turn into good. Just as Joseph found purpose in his pain, you too can transform your trials into a source of strength and inspiration. Life is full of challenges, but each one holds the potential for transformation. Even when others intentionally try to harm you, you have the power to rise above, to turn your pain into purpose, and to find meaning in every experience. Don't let the actions of others determine your destiny. The path to greatness is rarely easy. It's often filled with hardship, betrayal, and setbacks. But each challenge brings you closer to becoming the person you're meant to be. Embrace your journey, knowing that every experience, even the painful ones, are part of your growth. Today, choose to release the pain of betrayal. Choose to believe in the strength within you. Choose to seek every setback as an opportunity for growth. When others try to harm you, use it as fuel to become even stronger, more resilient, and more committed to your path. Let Joseph's story remind you that no one's actions can derail your destiny. What others meant for harm, you can turn into something beautiful and purposeful. Embrace the power of resilience, of forgiveness, and of faith. Trust that your journey, no matter how challenging, is leading you to greatness. So if you're carrying wounds from those who damaged you intentionally, know that your story is far from over. Stand tall. Keep moving forward, and remember, no matter what anyone tries to do to you, your destiny is in your hands. Rise above. Transform your pain into purpose and step into the greatness that awaits you. You've got this. Peace and blessings, Dr. O.